Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Industry Insights. We're on day 2. For those of you joining us for the first time today, my name is Amanda Thompson. I'm the co-founder of Industry Insights along with Your Game Plan, and I'm also the MD of Campus Media, a youth marketing company. Together we've been working with young people and employers for over 20 years now, helping them with their career choices along the way. So Industry Insights, it's a week-long schedule. It's 2 till 3 every day. It's a highly interactive event. We're looking for your questions aimed at the employers. It could be general questions about the industry, and every day we'll be putting a different spotlight on a different industry. Yesterday was engineering, and today is all about hospitality. And I'm joined by 4 employers. We have Sodexo, Marriott, B&Q, and Hyatt. And we're going to not delay any further. We're going to go straight into an introduction now from our sponsor, Sodexo.
Hi everyone, I'm Alessandro. I'm a regional executive chef for Sodexo Live. As a company, we operate in numerous countries across the world, and I don't know if you're all aware, but our aim is to give an excellent service and quality for our customers, but our people too. As we all know, hospitality is very challenging environment, and it requires a lot of focus at all time. But at the same time, it's big fun. Keep in mind you leave great memories to all our customers, and also you have a lot of opportunity in terms of career. Also, our apprentices they're going to have the opportunity to work next to a legend of the hospitality like Raymond Blanc, and participating and taking part in major events like Royal Ascot, Chelsea Flower Show, or working in one of the most exclusive venues in London like Bateau London, or one of the beautiful rooms of the Royal Academy of Art. As an apprenticeship, you need to be confident and sure that we always will be guided by our qualified teams, and they will help you guide through and give you all the advice for your next step. Now we're going to see a little bit of what we're doing at Sodexo.
The reason we're a venue like nowhere else is because we've got a team like nowhere else.
I think the team camaraderie is the biggest part for me. It's been wonderful to meet new people and see a friendly face every morning.
You get to work at so many events, and it's a really fun place to work.
The atmosphere is so nice as well, everyone's really friendly.
Team members with a can-do attitude that are just really desperate to make things work. That energy, that enthusiasm.
I think for me it's the fact that it's quite flexible, and I prefer, because I am a full-time student as well, so I feel like the flexibility really goes well with my studies.
We love work for Sodexo. We are a big family working together, exactly. For a great future.
We always focus on the detail. The team have built it. This is all about making it memorable.
Good afternoon, I'm Jamie Shipp. I'm the Senior Manager of Talent Programmes and University Relations for Europe, Middle East and Africa for Marriott International. Marriott International is the world's largest hospitality company. We have 8,000 hotels across 134 different countries, all branded with 30 of our top leading industry brands. In terms of Marriott and what we do and how we treat people, people are at the core of everything we do, whether that's our guests, whether that's our associates who work with us, and our future apprentices. So we want to show you a little video to let you know a little bit more about what it means to live fully during your time with Marriott International.
Right.
So at Marriott International, you can see we like all of our associates and all of our guests to live life to their fullest and to reach their potential, whatever that may be. In terms of our apprenticeships in our UK operations, we currently have 79 apprenticeships studying across the UK in many different disciplines, whether that's on our front desk operations, working face-to-face with customers, whether that's in food and beverage, being behind the bar, bartending, housekeeping in terms of making up our rooms, and in the kitchens, which you might traditionally associate with hospitality. However, we also offer apprenticeships which you may not particularly associate with hospitality. Our golf courses and country clubs require greenkeepers, so we have greenkeeping apprenticeships. We also have engineers who work behind the scenes to make sure that our hotels are in top nick and looking spick and span for when our guests make it along. We also have support functions in human resources and finance, so if you wish to pursue an apprenticeship in those disciplines, you're more than welcome. And the best thing is, all of our apprenticeships are fully funded as Marriott International, as a national employer, pay into a fund. So there's no cost to our apprenticeships, no cost to our hotels to participate, and the best thing is you get to earn while you learn. An internationally and industry recognised qualification that will set you up on a strong foundation as you build your confidence and skills towards a fantastic career in our hospitality industry. We can't wait to have you as part of our teams.
Hi everybody, my name's Kate Benge. I'm the UK Retail Recruitment Manager for B&Q. We currently have just over 28,000 colleagues across our retail estate. We recruit about 10,000 people into the business each year and currently run just over 20 different apprenticeships across our retail, field and head office functions. Rather than me tell you more about the roles, we have put together a little film to give you a bit of an insight around what we do and how we live our values at B&Q.
My name's Hannah and I'm an apprentice at B&Q. When I first started working at B&Q, I was a school leaver who was looking for an apprenticeship opportunity to develop new skills and improve my confidence.
I joined B&Q 5 years ago. The pay was a lot better for a 16-year-old than any other employer, as B&Q does not discriminate age and exceeds the minimum wage. I also chose B&Q because I was interested in learning more about DIY as I was pretty useless at it, so this job was ideal to me.
At B&Q, we're motivated by one purpose. We believe anyone can improve their home to make life better. When you join our team, you're joining a family of genuinely decent people who work together to make a meaningful difference in the lives of our customers and each other. We value each other for who we are and we celebrate each other's differences.
Hi everyone, my name's Tabitha and I'm the Programme Manager within the exciting world of B&Q Logistics. My role involves managing the programme of projects through our retail network, which do the deliveries to stores, through to our home delivery network, who make deliveries to customers' homes. I've worked at B&Q and Kingfisher for 23 years, which is a long, long time. I guess there are two core reasons why I've worked at the company for this long. One is the level of challenge and opportunity. So there's always something different going on, there's always lots of exciting things happening, lots to get your teeth into. And secondly, it's the culture and calibre of people that you work with.
Before I started my apprenticeship, I felt there were gaps in my skill set and areas of my knowledge I wanted to address. I come from a background of low education and even less opportunity. So to be able to work for a company that gives you the tools to develop has really given me a greater start in life and a career to be proud of.
In terms of apprenticeships within B&Q, we support a wide variety of apprenticeship schemes. A lot of the apprenticeships focus around the retail world, but there's also a lot of opportunities such as project management, coaching, as well as finance.
I decided to do this apprenticeship because I believed it would give me more insight into how a retail business works and how I should be working to progress myself into a managerial role. I also did not get my GCSEs at school due to me not applying myself the way I should have been, so this apprenticeship was the best opportunity to finally get my grades I need to get the job role I want.
A core part of our ethos is celebrating the individual, and along with a strong diversity and inclusion agenda, it's really important that everyone can be themselves at work and add value in their own way.
My career and development has been supported by all my managers throughout my time here, as B&Q pride themselves on creating fair opportunities to those who work hard and show that they want to progress in the business. I'm also the LGBTQ plus representative for my region, which means I can actively improve diversity and inclusion in B&Q, which is a big part of my life.
My name's Andy Cronin, I'm a unit manager with B&Q and I have been for about the last 25 years. My current store, Barrow and Finesse in Cumbria, has about 80% of internally progressed leadership team in store. So that's a testament to how well B&Q does at allowing people to reach their ceiling.
The apprenticeship allowed me to work on each department around the store for around 2 to 3 months on each one, which allowed me to learn all the complex processes throughout B&Q and how each department contributes to how the business works.
Hannah, our in-store apprentice in Barrow store, joined us about 14 months ago, and in that time she's progressed from working across most departments to now working on our showroom design area, designing bathrooms and custom worktops for our customers on our in-store CAD design software. Hannah is a testament to how well you can do with B&Q, learning so many skills that benefit you across life, and I'm sure it would be a great opportunity for so many others.
One part I love about working at B&Q is the people and the managers who have supported me so much throughout my apprenticeship and helped support my progress when needed. And I feel like that's a really important part of the job, to be supported and be in a very progressive environment, and that is what B&Q is.
Even after 18 years with B&Q, I've been able to continue learning and developing my skills further as a leader. My apprenticeship has helped me identify different styles of leadership and how specific traits can help support those around you.
Since I started working at B&Q, I have definitely noticed a big improvement in my confidence and my ability to talk to and help customers throughout the store.
It's benefited me as I feel like I've grown up a lot and learned a lot. I now also have to be a role model. I don't think I would be where I am now if it wasn't from what I learned during this and the help from my managers.
I'm proud to tell people I started as a customer advisor, and with the tools B&Q have provided and the determination to keep learning, I now lead an entire store.
The only thing that determines how far you go in B&Q is your level of desire and your level of ability.
In terms of the future of B&Q, it's really bright orange, with huge opportunities over the coming years. We've got a huge level of investment ongoing over the next time period, which will see the logistics, retail and home delivery network continue to change and grow to make sure that we can deliver what our customers want and need. It's definitely an exhilarating place to be.
Hi, good afternoon everybody. My name is Darryl Shaughnessy and I'm the Talent Acquisition Manager for Hyatt Hotels. So Hyatt have 1,100 hotels located all around the globe, and we're in many destinations such as city centre hotels in London, New York and Paris, and we've got beach hotels as well in places like the Caribbean and in Mexico. Now here in the United Kingdom we've got 11 hotels spread across London, Manchester, Birmingham, Cambridge and in Dublin as well. And Hyatt is made up of 18 different brands. One of these brands is called the Andaz. And the Andaz has 20 hotels worldwide, but there is one here in the United Kingdom, in London, and we're going to go to that video now.
Curious about your next career move? Explore opportunities at the iconic 5-star Andaz London, Liverpool Street.
What I like most about working for Andaz London is that we're one big happy family. It's a relaxed environment and I can be myself. It doesn't feel like work because I'm having so much fun.
This is my first job in hospitality, and the first impression I had when I walked into the Andaz was, wow, this is not like other hotels. The team is amazing, we have so much fun, and I haven't even been here for a year and I'm already training to be a shift leader.
Andaz London is the perfect place for career direction and opportunities. I started here 14 years ago as a casual in events, and now I'm running a team of 50 people as a head of department. At Andaz, we welcome everybody, regardless of culture, background. We want you to express yourself.
What excites me the most about working for Andaz is the fact that you feel respected, valued, rewarded for your hard work. There's a fantastic team atmosphere.
My favorite benefit of working at the Andaz is that I get 50% discount in all F&B outlets.
What I like most about working with Andaz is the creative freedom to design menus from sustainable products.
On a day-to-day basis, I do a lot of check-ins, but I also get to check in because with Anders, I get 12 complimentary nights every year.
Anders means personal style, but not only that. It also means celebrating individuality, recognizing great talents, developing and nurturing our colleagues, and empowering them to be their best.
Great, so in that video you'll have seen people working in areas of the hotel, such as a waiter, in reception, working in housekeeping, working as a chef, and working as a bartender. And this is typically where we focus our apprenticeships. So our apprenticeships are generally 12 to 15 months in length. And the initial 12 months, that is sort of the core apprenticeship part. So this is where you will work in a hotel 4 days a week, working in a department such as the restaurant and the bar, for example, if you're completing a food and beverage apprenticeship. And then that 5th day is what we refer to as our study day or our college day. And how that looks will vary depending on the actual course that you decide upon. But let's say, for example, you're doing a chef apprenticeship. It could be a case that you would go to a chef college 1 day a week and you would complete activities at the college with a lecturer or a tutor. And also as part of that cohort or group of apprentices could be apprentices from Hyatt and also from different hotel organisations. Now the endpoint assessment typically comes between months 12 and 15. So during the endpoint assessment you'll have an assessor come in who will essentially look at your knowledge, skills and behaviours and to see if you've completed the apprenticeship course as it has been designed. So if you're a chef, for example, it could be the case that the assessor will come in, ask you maybe to fillet a fish, they might ask you to make a cake, maybe they'd ask you to put a whole menu together. It could also entail a presentation and it could entail an interview as well, whereby they test your theory and your knowledge also. Now, throughout the apprenticeship, you will have plenty of support. At Hyatt, we do care for people so they can be their best, and we do want people working at their best when they work for Hyatt. So you will have your manager supporting you, you'll have the learning and development team supporting you, the HR team supporting you, and of course outside of Hyatt you'll have your lecturer and tutor as well. And then ultimately the end goal is for you to complete your apprenticeship and then start your career and journey with Hyatt Hotels, because when we have somebody come on board, it's not just about them taking on a role or a job, it is about starting a career with us and starting the journey.
Excellent. Thank you so much, everybody. That was really great insights into your companies, but also more for you, Alessandro, into the catering and the chefing part of Sodexo. And I just want to point out, Sodexo joined us yesterday for the engineering day as well. The catering side of things is just one part of what Sodexo do, and am I right in thinking you can be based anywhere in any building which contracts Sodexo services, catering services, or whether it, like yesterday, engineering services?
Yeah, correct. I mean, we are so huge and operate in so different way, so the opportunities are incredible. I mean, it's just ready for you to pick one and start an experience, an amazing experience.
Perfect, thank you. So just before we get started into the questions, and thank you for the questions in so far, I just want to point out this is an interactive event. We are waiting for your questions to ask our employers here today. If you can't find the chat box, if you scroll down ever so slightly on your screen, you'll see the box there. Just pop in a name. It could be the name of your school. It doesn't have to be your real name. And you'll be accessed straight into the chat room and you'll be able to start asking questions straight away. So I wanted to start off, and my experience of hospitality is one probably quite similar to a lot of the people watching today. It was the start of my working life. I worked in a supermarket on a Saturday. It helped fund me through my education. I got so many huge skills from that time. I've worked in kitchens as well, in restaurants, probably about 4 to 5 years of my life actually, and it was the great foundations for my building, my career progression. But that's going to ring true with quite a few people in terms of seeing a career within a retail or within a restaurant or a hotel as a means of a part-time temporary job. What is the opportunity and the scope for progressing a career, choosing a career within hospitality and retail and developing that further and progressing through that company, with that company? I'm going to point that out to B&Q, Kate.
Okay, lovely. Yeah, I'm the same as you, Amanda. I started, going through college and university working in retail, and I took a break from that, and I've been back at B&Q now for 11 years. I think a lot of people do join B&Q as a business. As a student, we have really flexible working hours. We don't look for any previous experience when we recruit our customer advisors. They're our biggest population of colleague, so it's perfect. You could work 8 hours on the front end and have some cash in your back pocket for whatever you want. But what I love about our career growth and support is that we do actually have a huge amount of people who work in our management teams who joined us as a customer advisor. I speak to people every day who will say, actually, I only came for a 3-month fixed-term contract over the summer, and I've been here 13 years. So, yeah, I think it's really lovely that people choose us to come and work for us, even for a short period of time. But I think it's even better that they choose to stay, and we support that career opportunity too.
That really came across in the video as well, actually, how long a couple of the people talking, giving insights have been with B&Q. Dara, what about with Hyatt?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the exact same situation, I must say, as with regards to B&Q, for example, in those examples. And, a lot of our hotel managers and general managers started off on apprenticeship courses and training courses and built their career to be in the most senior position possible in an actual hotel. And within Hyatt, we've got support to help people understand what that clear career pathway is. So, for example, once an apprentice joins the organisation, of course, we'll look at that initial 12 to 15-month period that they're on the apprenticeship, but we're always looking ahead in terms of what's next and where people can develop and where they can grow into. And we'll have regular reviews with the employees as well to see how they're settling in, how they're developing, and it could well be a case, for example, then an apprentice, when they come to the end of their course, they want to try something maybe a little bit different. And we can do that in Hyatt because we've got massive 5-star city central locations, and we've got smaller hotels and smaller properties, and we've got the beach resort. So we can help people find out what direction exactly they want to go in, and we'll map that out. And we have the learning and development team on site. We'll have the local HR leaders as well, who are there ultimately to provide that clear guidance. And yeah, exact same situation as well. We'll often have people come join us for 3 months over the summer period, for example, and then we'll see them a year later to join us on a journey. So definitely the opportunities are endless, across the organisation.
Excellent, and I'm sure a lot of people's hopes went up when you said the Caribbean locations as well. I wouldn't mind being posted out there. In terms of Sodexo then, so just within your area of expertise, Alessandro, yes. So within the catering side of things, how can people, an apprentice, progress through?
I mean, potentially you have the chance to, reach an amazing goal, working close to legend of the industry, of the hospitality, find your way. There are numerous things you can do within the hospitalities and whatever is a front of house or back of house. And find your way and I don't know, succeed in what is your main goal. I mean, it's hospitality. I think it needs to be a passion, driven by passion mainly, and attitude, the right attitude. Then whatever comes after it will be naturally. So what we do at Sodexo, we surround you with the expertise and the support, and we care about you, and we try to hold your hand and put you through this amazing journey. And one day you'll be the next Raymond Blanc, who knows, hopefully.
We saw him featured in your video.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so.
And Jamie, so Alessandro, you mentioned front of house and back of house, and Jamie, you reeled off a huge list of different apprenticeship opportunities that you can do at Marriott. Can you just put a little bit of explanation into front of house and back of house in terms of the apprenticeship opportunities that you offer?
Yeah, so your front of house roles will be typically those that you see around the hotel when you're sat there, you know, in a property, whether that's for a meal, whether it's for a stay. You know, these are going to be those that are more guest facing. And again, that's where that passion and that connection between people comes across, and it can really help. And I think, you know, what you alluded to earlier in terms of, you know, giving you a good knowledge base to move forward in your career, it's building that confidence in interacting with people and providing a service, and helping to supplement that. In terms of the disciplines that we offer, you know, it's not just what you see in front of you in the hotel, but there is a huge team that operate behind the scenes. And back of house, you know, probably the role you'd associate most with hospitality is kitchens, like Alessandro mentioned, in terms of those who prepare your food. And you see the end product of that, but you know, there's a whole team in hotels of electricians, of decorators, of engineers who actually go to keep the fabric of the hotel looking amazing for our guests. And they often go under the radar, but yeah, for our engineering disciplines, that's where we probably have one of the largest needs of young talent coming in. And it's a great place to learn because, you know, within a hotel room, you have all elements of engineering, whether that's painting and decorating, whether it's plumbing, carpentry, electrician. You know, you can really learn everything just in one place and under one employer, which is fantastic. You don't have to go through multiple different areas. So that's just one of them. And yeah, I also mentioned, you know, our golf and country clubs. You know, keeping those greens looking amazing and the fairways trimmed is an art in itself. I didn't know how much there is in terms of detail that you can use to just prepare a piece of grass. You know, but it's a real skill, and yeah, you can learn all about the ins and outs of that. You know, and you're outdoors. You get to travel around in a golf buggy for most of the day and see the fantastic scenery of our golf courses. So it's a fantastic job, and that's one of the areas that we often don't see sold as much as some of the other areas of hospitality. But there really is a path for everybody, and again, the office side of things, whether that's finance, human resources, sales and marketing, you know, we are a huge marketing. We have a huge marketing operation. You know, selling Marriott and our loyalty programs and Bonvoy. And if you watch any Premier League football or the F1, you'll see Marriott Bonvoy everywhere. That's all done by a team in-house, and we need people with those skills to come into our industry as well.
I think what really rings true across all of your organisations, especially in the video, is how much, regardless of which apprenticeship scheme you take within your organisations, you know, whether it is engineering or whether it is in the kitchens, everybody is working together for that common goal, and that really resonates across the hospitality industry. It's almost, you choose to work within hospitality, and it matters less really about what it is you do within that company. You're working together as a team, you know, to provide a common goal. Excellent. So we have lots of questions come in already. Just some quick fire ones here. Do I need to have hospitality knowledge or experience to work at any of your companies? So this is tricky because obviously all people know is secondary school, or maybe they've done a course at college, but for the majority of people watching, they are doing GCSEs. And so what transferable skills would you say are good for your companies to come in with?
I think if I can take that one, I think, you know, it's about your interaction with people, and you know, the core of hospitality is about how you make people feel. When they walk through your doors and they have an experience, they sit down, they want to have a really nice meal. You know, and hospitality is a lot about celebration and you know, connecting with friends and family for your guests. And I think if you can facilitate that, then you don't need any particular A-levels qualifications or anything else. You just need a passion for making people feel good. And I think, you know, that exists whether you've got an A-level to your name, a degree, or a GCSE. You know, I can tell you a story about my brother, for example. academia wasn't for him. He didn't come away with as many A levels as he actually went in for and hoped. But he got a bar job. He wanted something to tick over. He moved city to kind of get a bit of a change of scenery, and he took on a trainee assistant manager program similar to an apprenticeship. And he kind of worked his way through that, and then he took an opportunity to join a cruise ship working for Royal Caribbean, and he cruised the Mediterranean, went over and did the Caribbean. He then went and worked on events in Ibiza, and he's now in Australia working in there. So I think what you can get from a hospitality career is that true sense of a global industry. You know, you can learn a cocktail, that's going to be the same cocktail you can pour in New York, London, Amsterdam, Paris, wherever. And I think that's really what it comes across. If you're passionate, if you can connect with people, if you can make them feel great about things, and you can deliver great service within your area that you are an expert in, whether that's behind the bar, in the kitchen, or wherever else it might be, then your career can take you anywhere where you want to go. And I think that's what the most amazing thing about our industry is.
It's all about, sorry if I can,
Yeah.
it's all about the attitude at the end. As we say, that you have it. Yeah, if your attitude is the right one when you approach a new job, an apprenticeship, a new team, a new bunch of people, then you're gonna learn everything easily. The skills you can always build it up, learning, improving, but the attitude is the driven point to start any career, I guess.
And Kate, specifically for retail then, is that any different?
No, it's exactly the same. We have, as I mentioned earlier, over 28,000 colleagues that work for B&Q, but 30% of those 28,000 colleagues are under the age of 24. And it's about what you bring to us, and we will put the efforts and give you the support to give you anything else. So, if you come to us with real drive and passion and enthusiasm and a good sense of customer care, we'll give you, excuse the pun, the tools to do the job. So, it's really important that you're able to apply for a vacancy with any of us and feel confident that you've got something to bring. It's just being really clear around what that is, and not necessarily in the academic side. It's about what you have and the values that you have.
Brilliant. Dara, somebody has asked, is there a specific time that your apprenticeships start? Or is it a flexible start time?
Oh, no, it is completely flexible. And I guess it will depend as well on certain cohorts and groups, but it may be a case that we would start an apprenticeship maybe over a 3-month window, for example. So if somebody wanted to start an apprenticeship, it might not necessarily be the case that the apprenticeship would start next week or in 2 weeks' time, but we have rolling apprenticeships constantly happening. And it will also depend on which apprenticeship they're looking for as well, right? So say, for example, if we were taking on a number of people in the food and beverage department where we have waiters and bartenders, I think it's sometimes quite nice when you can have a group starting together. So we might have a specific date in mind, which could be 4 weeks, 5 weeks in advance, for example. So then all those apprentices can join together and be on the same journey. But generally speaking, the apprenticeships are open sort of all year round, maybe with the exception of, say, December, for example, because it's never a good time to start somebody in a hotel at Christmas time because they're exceptionally busy. But other than that, no, it's very much a case where our apprenticeship opportunities are rolling regularly.
And Kate, you do it slightly different at B&Q in terms of starting on an apprenticeship.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I mean, it's similar in some ways. There are certain apprenticeships where we'll have a particular cohort that will start at certain times. However, you're able to join us as a colleague and decide that you want to take an apprenticeship as part of your colleague journey, or you can join us directly or immediately as an apprentice. So yeah, we give a couple of options, which I think is great.
Perfect. Is that any different for Marriott or Sodexo?
Not for us, I mean.
Yeah.
So it's
the same
flexible start.
Yeah.
There's not a set time to start your apprenticeship. Every time is a good time.
And you can see different aspects of the operation as well, even if you're in the same apprenticeship. So it's great, can rotate, see different point of view, service.
I think the only thing that comes into a factor is when you're partnered with the educational provider. So for example, we partner with a separate academy who would help out with the greenkeeping, for example, and and they might run their courses with a couple of intakes throughout the year. And I think that's kind of what Dara's mentioning. You know, especially when you talk about having a culinary course and you might have different chefs from different companies taking part. If that's all connected to the same college, then there might be an intake window with the college. But generally, you know, there's a lot we can teach you before you even get into college. And you know, as Dara mentioned, 4 days of the week are based in the hotel operations. So you can still take a lot of learning right up until that window of when you actually start the college itself. And that also kind of can give you a great opportunity to understand the company, the values, you know, the expectations on you, and get you into the right frame of mind, so that when you go into college, it's not too much too soon, because obviously then you become a student of that college as well, and there's a lot to learn about that institution. So yeah, for us, it's that's the only thing that may delay an intake or a start of an apprenticeship. But you know, we welcome anyone in, and we've got enough to keep them going until that time comes.
It's really reassuring to know that you start in a cohort, so not 100% dissimilar to being in a class at school. You're all in the same boat. You're on that learning journey together as well. Unsurprisingly, we have had a question in for Hyatt. Do you offer apprenticeships worldwide?
So there will be apprenticeships worldwide, but I guess what's important to understand as well is that each country is going to have different apprenticeship requirements. And there's also the consideration that people need to take on board is about visas and working rights, because it's not so easy to go to some countries, for example, just to go and work there. There can be a process involved in it as well. So we will definitely have learning opportunities available all around the world. It's just not necessarily the exact same scheme that may be run here in the United Kingdom, for example, with the exact same qualification.
Eligibility would be something as well. You know, for a UK apprenticeship, you need to have a certain level of English, and the same applies. I mean, we run them in Germany and in France as well, in terms of Europe, and they have a slightly different structure, as Dara mentioned. But language ability is an important thing as well.
I think what the person is trying to get at is, can they do an apprenticeship as a UK student over in the Caribbean? Or do they have to do their apprenticeship here in the UK first? Once they've finished that, they might then want to choose one of the overseas hotels.
Yeah, and I don't know about yourself, Dara, but in terms of international movement, you know, it becomes a lot easier the further up your career you are. It's a lot easier to get a visa in other countries for a manager than it is to get for a line level associate, and that's because a lot of the countries want to protect that entryway into their industries. But yeah, when you kind of climb the company, and again, training programs, apprenticeships, management development programs, whatever the local equivalent is, allows you to get there a bit quicker, so that when you do want to move across, then you've got more opportunities. Yeah.
Brilliant. Then it becomes a pipe dream, doesn't it? Yeah. Career progression. So this is a good one. What kind of exam results do I need to get to start an apprenticeship within your organisations?
I'm happy to take that one from a B&Q perspective. So if you don't have a grade C or above or equivalent, you can still start an apprenticeship with us. It just means that we will provide you with the additional support to study and gain that qualification whilst you're doing the apprenticeship with us. So yeah, if there was a particular apprenticeship that you wanted to do but you didn't have the GCSE or equivalent, it won't stop you.
So you would support them through a resit of, if say for example it was maths, not my strong subject, but you would then support them through that resit of that exam.
I've actually got 2 people in my team currently who are studying for their CIPD level 7 apprenticeship through us, and neither of them were able to find or had passed their maths GCSE, so they're retaking it through the apprenticeship, and I've been really blown away by the amount of support that they've got actually, and they've quite enjoyed restudying, which I don't think they were expecting to do.
Amazing. I saw you nodding, Jamie.
Yeah, so I mean, technically the answer in terms of what qualification you need is absolutely none once you start, but as part of to actually pass the endpoint assessment that Darren mentioned when he was talking about the apprenticeship qualification and that final part of it, you do need to have maths and English to a GCSE level C or above, and yeah, we offer the support and along with our training providers to get you that. So you can do that as part of the apprenticeship qualification. If you've already got a maths and an English at GCSE level, then that's less for you to worry about in terms of your apprenticeship. But often if people who are already with us haven't gained a GCSE in the UK, they may have done an equivalent abroad, but it doesn't quite translate, then that's where we help support them get through that as well.
Wonderful, thank you. One for Alessandro. So what advice would you give to someone in year 11 or 12, so finishing off their GCSEs, thinking about that next step, that would like to change their career route and enter into the hospitality industry? And again, just to reiterate, Sodexo has many different entry points. They also offer degree apprenticeships and entry-level apprenticeships, but specifically from your experience.
Hospitality. Just join. Just come with us. Just do it straight. Ask for me. And yeah, I mean, you can do it straight away. You can access through the Sodexo platform. Normally, there's always something available. And yeah, you just need to apply and do the question you want to do, and you are probably on board straight away. And I'll be there to help you out.
And in terms of the minimum age, is there a minimum age? Is it 16 to start your apprenticeship?
Yes, correct.
Wonderful. Yeah. So just a little bit longer until you get to 16, and then you can move on and enter any apprenticeship. So, gosh, so many questions.
I can see.
Okay, this is a good one. Are there any support groups that you would recommend joining to gain some insights or to boost confidence? I know from working with employers all have their own internal communities of mentors that will help boost you and support you through that. But are there any external groups that you'd advise for young people to go and check out, have a look at, to try and get more of an understanding of the hospitality and retail industry?
If I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken, there's an organisation called Springboard which operates in the hospitality industry, and they do have a mentorship programme. I don't have the exact details to hand with regards to that, but for example, it could be a young person looking to get into the industry, and they could have a mentor who might be a HR director or a HR manager from an organisation, and then they can build that relationship to discuss, opportunities and what sort of opportunities might be good for a certain person, or what they might need to work on, or what soft skills they need to develop. So I believe that could be a resource which is worth following up on.
That's definitely one that I've worked with in the past as well. I think Springboard, you mentioned, they do some great, they're a hospitality-based charity, and they do a lot of work to get people into the industry. And they also they celebrate the success of the industry and how it brings people on. The Prince's Trust is another one. They have a series of programs called Get Into, and they do a Get Into hospitality path. And you can come and you can do a work experience placement in a hotel. We've hosted them at Grosvenor House in central London. And they come and join us for 2 weeks, and they move around the different departments, have a look, see what it's all about, and then they can opt then to do another 2 weeks, and they get placed at different hotels around London with Marriott, and then they choose at that point a discipline. So if they want to go into the kitchen or whatever, or whether they want to be front of house or work in engineering or whatever it may be. So they're two routes through the Prince's Trust Get Into programs, and also in Springboard. And I know they're mostly, when I've worked with them, they've been in London, but I do believe they have regional, regional capacity as well. But yeah, two good areas.
Great, thank you. Definitely check those out. There, obviously, your game plan as well is another platform. Your school probably already has is a member of it. It's a free resources platform. There are lots of soft skills videos to watch on there as well, and they're really short. They range from like 3 minutes. So definitely have a look at your game plan, see what advice they offer on there for you as well. But perfect platform, thank you. Another one with the international travel for Hyatt and Marriott. So is there the opportunity to have international travel, or is that once on completion of the apprenticeship?
Yeah, I think the problem that we face in terms of facilitating that during an apprenticeship is that all the funding for the apprenticeships is done in the UK. You know, we pay an apprenticeship levy that comes straight out of our UK wage bill. We don't see any of it, and it just goes into this massive fund that we can then spend on apprenticeships, and I'm sure it's the same for the rest of you guys. So in terms of, you know, the qualification that you're getting funded for, it's all based in the UK. There are chances within Marriott to move around to see different hotels. You know, if you're working in front of house, some of our hotels host some amazing events similar to what Sodexo do. I mean, we have the BAFTAs at Grosvenor House every year. So if you want to go and see a 2,000 seater, you know, awards dinner where you've got the likes of Leo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and you know, all of the top celebrities from Hollywood in attendance, then you can go and do that as part of, and take a learning as part of your apprenticeship. So it's quite a cool way to do it in terms of seeing other hotels that you might not work at yourself. So we do facilitate a little bit of that. In regard to international, once you've kind of got those qualifications, and as the point we made earlier, you can then travel a lot easier when you're at that management level. And the only thing that really you might need to consider is a language ability. So if you can speak another language, you've got way more opportunities. But you know, in areas like Eastern Europe, for example, you don't need to, and probably not the best place to go at the moment, but you don't necessarily need to speak the local language in order to deliver amazing service, because our service language is English within Marriott.
And Alessandro, so in terms of travelling around, obviously you go where that event is, yes, and your kitchen is very much a movable kitchen, isn't
yes. it? There is a lot to see already in the country. Basically every time is a travel. It's not maybe international, but as you say, Royal Ascot, the way it happens, Chelsea Flower Show, it's amazing. We build up this whole restaurant, and the operation is massive and is amazing, and you don't need to go abroad. There's a lot to see here. You can go up in Scotland. We got amazing venue for with a heritage portfolio, for example, and yeah, it's great. But once you have done your apprenticeship, again, we operate in numerous countries, 50 countries across the world. So then once you get your qualification, you get into a role, you talk with your manager, and you might be able to move somewhere else, pick a place on the map and go.
I think that's the beauty of hospitality, isn't it?
The flexibility you have, that's great.
And in retail, Kate, people can move stores as well if they want to relocate around the country.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, we don't have any stores in the Caribbean, but yes, absolutely. Well, I'd love that. It is really easy. In fact, often actively encouraged, because we have various formats of store. So for ease, small, medium, and large, if you like. And you know, if you're a team leader, you know, we encourage you to get experience working in all those various formats before moving up to, you know, into the next role of a trading manager, as an example. So, yeah, and we'll support that move internally. You know, if there's an opportunity in a place that you would be able to consider from a relocation point of view, then yeah, we'll help you to do that move.
I think it really develops a person's skill set as well, doesn't it? Starting in a fresh environment, a fresh workplace in a different role, it really builds their knowledge base and soft skills.
I mean, you know, we've got many stores in London. In fact, London offers them the closest proximity of stores across the whole of the UK, but you can work in a store that's only 10 minutes up the road from another store, but you will be faced with so many demographic or geographic challenges compared to what you would experience in the store 10 minutes up the road. So yeah, that's why it is important to move around.
Sarah, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, if somebody is really keen to travel, start your apprenticeship in the United Kingdom, and if you are with an organisation such as Hyatt, for example, you do get access to discounted room rates from the day you join. So that could be up to, say, 50%, if not more, in certain locations. So perhaps you wanted to go to Amsterdam, for example, you could go stay in one of our hotels there for perhaps €50 a night, for example. So you could start to do this on your holidays whilst you're working on the apprenticeship, and then maybe that will help you understand, actually, where would I like to go in the future? Because you know what, it might sound great, okay, the Caribbean, provided you can get right to work there, but actually maybe you just want to go to the Caribbean for a holiday rather than to actually live there, because it's going to be a very different environment once you live there, for example. So that as well, when you work in hospitality, will give you that environment where you can sample first and then, okay, think, well, I'd rather be in maybe large cities in Europe, and then focus in terms of that direction as well.
Great, thank you. Some of you have touched on this in terms of the duration of your programs and things, but this is how long is a piece of string, I guess, and it is down to the individual, but generally speaking, how long would it take somebody to go from apprentice to manager level?
In terms of the apprenticeship qualifications, they're all set out for a period of time. I mean, the first initial level 2 apprenticeship would be looking at about 12 months. Providing you get past your endpoint assessment, you can then go on to level 3, and the learning doesn't stop with that first apprenticeship. It's all throughout, and a big metric for us, and one of the quotes that Mr. Marriott and our founder used to say is, the measure of a company is the type of manager it turns out. And so we've got a massive vested interest in getting people through to that management level. And yeah, when you're starting to talk about apprenticeship level 4, so once you do your level 2, your level 3, level 4, within 3 years you can easily have the qualifications and be a manager in in your field, in your department. So yeah, the progression journey is again, like you say, it's kind of how long is a piece of string in respect of, it's very dependent on the individual, whether they really excel at learning and they want to get those qualifications, and also just because you have the qualification doesn't mean that there's going to be an opening at that management level in the location you're in. You may need to move around to find that as well. So you may need to be an apprenticeship do your apprenticeship in one hotel, move as a supervisor to another location, and then move into a management role in maybe a smaller hotel where you can kind of take on that responsibility and step up a little bit more easily. So it depends on the individual. If you're flexible in location and you want to smash through these qualifications, then yeah, there's nothing to stop you from getting it within the first three years of your career.
And I guess as well, it's how long you want to take to enjoy that process. Within the catering side of things, is there a set time that people spend within each part of the apprenticeship, or is it down to them and how passionate they are about that particular element that they start in on?
For example, signing to an apprenticeship in the kitchen as a commis chef, and is it 12?
Explain what that is.
Yeah, and you join. You've been assigned a buddy which will follow you through the process, and normally someone on site, and they all show you the different aspect of the business, the service we do, and they guide you through all this process. And at the end of it, you might, as you say, Jen, it's about the individual. You can straight come on board and step up very quickly. I've seen people stepping up very quickly. You might find yourself that you're perfect for the role. You didn't know, you just started, and someone show you something you didn't know you like. You might find your career in pastry, for example, talking for myself in the kitchen, and then it will be very quick. But giving a certain, it's not set time, so I don't want to scare anyone. It's all about how passionate you are when you approach it, and you like it, and the people you're surrounded with. It's all up to you to speed up this process, I think.
I think the difference is when you're at the first level, when you are an apprenticeship, it's very technical in terms of what you're experiencing and what you're learning. You're learning the skills take you further forward. When you're talking about management, a step into management, you start talking about much more soft skills around leadership, around developing others, around your communication that you wouldn't have had to worry about when you're an apprentice. So you might find that, once you get that technical knowledge, if you've got naturally strong leadership skills, you might find that the levels 2 and 3 and 4 a lot easier, and you might kind of find that you take like a natural leadership in terms of how you are as an individual. So, and again, you know, some people might really struggle with the technical side of things, but they're great leaders and charismatic people who need to spend a little bit more time there. But you know, they can adapt to leadership really well, and vice versa.
Great. We're nearly to time, so I'm going to direct this next question at Kate. Is a permanent or full-time position guaranteed when completing an apprenticeship within your company?
Yeah, you will be in a permanent or part-time or fixed. It won't be offered to a fixed-term contract. So you will already, you know, you'll either already be on a permanent position, or you have a permanent position, or you will, you know, join that role as part of your apprenticeship. So yes, you'll be contracted, you know, to us, and you will grow within the company. So that's something that's guaranteed for you from the minute you decide, you know, what you want to do, whether that's join us and then choose your apprenticeship, or join us as an apprentice and grow with us. So yeah.
And is that different for anybody else?
No, absolutely not.
Great. Unanimous. Wonderful.
Absolutely. You're part of the family already. When you sign in, you're in. That's it.
That's the thing. It's the first step of a career, and I think we're all here looking at you know, allowing people to enable themselves in a career with us. And you know, we don't just hire people to do an apprenticeship, we hire people to have a career. And you know, 50% of all of our general managers around the world in all of those 8,000 hotels, 50% of them started in the hourly ranks. So you know, cleaning down tables and you know, doing some of the more you know, basic tasks in a hospitality environment. So yeah, we want to keep people around, and we want to see them grow and go on to become the leaders of our industry.
Right. I've got, this is a really important question, and actually I'm sure you get asked this a lot, and it may have to be our last one, but how do you find the work-life balance within your individual organisations or within your specific areas within your organisations? And I'm going to go to you first, Alessandro.
I have to say, as we are so big and we operate in a different kind of service within the hospitality, same, for example, our segment, you will find surprisingly, and there's a very good balance. Most of our venue in London, they are daytime places, daytime catering, so you are, for dinner you'll be at home. That's not bad, as we know, and sometimes it requires more time and effort. For example, if we are running a huge event, which is a seated dinner, but is entirely up to you what you want to do. Once you sign in, and you be able to see all the different type of service and what suits you best. But at the end, even when you finish the program, and hopefully eventually you be a part of, you join the company as an employer, and is a very good balance. It's not like everyone thinks, stereotypes, or hospitality is 12, 14 hours in a row. Yeah, sometimes it could be, but like any other job, when you're under pressure, there are some times. But it's a good balance nowadays, especially with us in Sodexo. We care a lot about these, because I think it's a key on the, then reflects on the performance of our people. So we try to leave that balance.
And just super quickly, has anybody else got anything to ask?
No, I think 100% agree. It's an industry that, you know, I think we're very conscious of that image as an industry. You know, we really work quite hard to enable people to live their lives outside of work. You know, yeah, there are weeks when you'll do your 40 hours that you're contracted to. There's weeks when you might do 50 or 60, especially if you've got a massive event or something like that. But generally, you know, that'll be counterbalanced by you know, an extra day off the next week, and you know, everybody gets their days off. Everybody gets a shift pattern well in advance. And I think the days of just, you know, being called in on your day off and all that sort of thing, it does happen. But I think the kind of the harsh stereotype that exists is definitely being challenged, and as employers we're really working hard to break that down, because we don't want that to be a barrier. In fact, you know, it's actually quite a lot of fun, you know, working some of those hours, working weekends. You know, you get your days off with your colleagues, and you know, you find that through hospitality you actually develop some amazing friendships, and you actually don't mind being around these people all the time. So yeah, for me, they might be longer hours, but generally I think they can be really rewarding, and certainly as you kind of move throughout your career, you'll move into job roles, and there might be something that suits you more at that point. Certainly there was a time when I was a lot more able to run around and do a full service. Those days are probably behind me. I'd not like to think too much, but yeah, certainly I think now today we have got a lot more of a finger on the pulse when it comes to this, and making sure that everyone gets their rest in.
Thank you so much. Gosh, so many questions, and I'm sorry if we didn't get all of those answered. I know we're right on the wire for time. One thing that comes across really loud and clear in the hospitality industry is it's all about being part of a team, and it seems a huge amount of fun. There will be further resources available on the webpage where you're viewing this from to download. All of the website careers pages for each of our employers today is going to be featured on there, as well as other resources to download. I want to say thank you again to all of you for taking the time to come and share your insights with us. Thank you to Sodexo for sponsoring today's event, and thank you to Mott MacDonald for hosting us today. Good luck in your further research in hospitality. We'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.